San Diego, what's going on? Thank you for joining us today. This is Real Talk Carmel Valley. We're here to bring you the business of life in America's finest city. I'm Clare McKee, and as always, this show is presented by our loyal partners at 5 Star Escrow and First American Title. Before we dive in today, I just want to say a few words and really acknowledge what occurred in Las Vegas earlier this week. Our thoughts and prayers are certainly with all of those affected by that horrible tragedy in some way or another. And I'm making it my mission to spread the love as much as I possibly can, and I encourage you to do the same. And that's what we're going to do here today, is have some fun, show some love for each other, and get right to it. So joining me today is Janean Johnson. She is with Kire Builders. Hi, Janean.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for coming back. Yeah. We didn't scare you away the first time?
No. It's a pleasure to be back.
Great, thank you. And we also have Louis McKay. He is the founder of North County DanceArts. Oh.
That's it.
Can I say it again?
Wait, say it one more time.
North County DanceArts.
You got it.
Got it.
That's it, baby.
Got it. Thanks for being here today, Louis.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having us.
So we got to get warmed up here, and we need to get to know our guests a little bit better today. So you're going to learn more about them with me. To start, Janean, I'm going to come to you first, my dear. What's one thing that you can't live without?
My morning coffee.
Amen.
Yeah.
What about your zodiac sign?
I'm a Pisces.
What is one word to describe yourself?
Energetic.
And what is one thing that you're grateful for?
Oh, my family.
We could add a whole list.
But there's a list for sure,
at the
but
top.
I got to put my family there.
Awesome. Louis, you ready?
Go.
As a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
A PE coach.
Not too far off, right? Where were you born and raised?
San Diego. I'm a good old San Diego boy.
Are you really? There's very few of us natives.
So few. You are as well,
I
huh?
am born
I went
and
to
raised.
San Diego High School, Roosevelt Junior High School, Florence Elementary.
You are San Diego. We
Yeah.
have San Diego in the house right now. Cool. So what's your favorite dessert?
Strawberry rhubarb pie.
So specific. I can't say I've ever had that. And what is one thing you're grateful for, Louis?
My wife.
Your wife. Great answer.
Absolutely.
We were just talking. You both have pretty big families.
Yes.
Family is important to you. Where can we find you on the weekends? What do you and your family like to do?
I'm in new home sales. You'll find me at the sales tract.
Yeah, right. Maybe during the week I should rephrase because the weekend's
exactly. Exactly.
What about you, Louis? What do you like to do with your family?
Right now, our family's all out of the house.
Oh, yeah.
And our youngest is 27, our oldest is 39, and so on the weekends when we have time off, my wife and I have a Harley Davidson.
Fun.
So my wife and I go for rides.
Does she get on the back with you, or does she have her
She
own?
rides with me.
Nice.
She wants her own.
Yeah.
So we'll get her own pretty soon, but right now
Good.
she rides with me and we get to talk with each other. And
Got the
we have
headsets in your...
We have a great time.
That's awesome. It's so wonderful to just... It's a little scary being on a motorcycle, but it's so beautiful when you're on one and you're just like free
You
out
can't
there.
tell anybody what it's like unless they've done it.
So true. So true. I've been on the back of a crotch rocket, and that's not as enjoyable of a cruise. You know what I mean? You're like really holding on for your life.
Yeah, this is a limited, and it's the biggest cruiser you can get.
So she has a nice seat in the
She
back.
sits like a queen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Now we're talking. So guys, we are just getting started, but if you like what you see, be sure to click like, and you can be notified each and every time we go live, so you'll subscribe to our notifications. And this is live. We're on Facebook Live, so be sure to drop us a comment, ask us a question, and we'll give you a shout out and answer your question on air. So we're going to jump right in with Janean Johnson. Like I said, she's with Kire Builders. And Kire Builders is a San Diego-based company. So why don't you tell us about the company culture and philosophy behind Kire?
It's a great company. It's a small builder, growing company with about 15 employees now. And so last time I was here, about a year ago, I think we had about 12 employees. Mm-hmm. So we are growing.
Exciting.
It's a really family-based company. So the focus is all about, building quality product, meeting the needs of San Diegans. A huge need for housing in San Diego, and that need is doing nothing but growing, really. So it's a focus on putting out good product, and in the workplace, it's really all about the employees coming together, and it feels like a family.
So I love what you're doing for San Diego, because we're seeing a lot of the new construction being multi-million-dollar condos and these mansions, and that's not what the average person is looking for.
No.
Especially like millennials like myself who are trying to get into our first home. And so tell us what Kire is doing to kind of combat that with the affordable housing that you're
Absolutely. So
constructing.
we're doing several different things. So On the rental side of things, we are building apartment complexes. So I don't really do too much in the rentals, but I've got some basic info on that. Got a big presence in South Bay, so out in National City. They've got Bella Vita open, and they're working on several other apartment home communities. So that's really meeting the needs of those people who need affordable rentals. And then in the housing side of things, the millennials, you mentioned first-time buyers. We've got some of the best product in Ramona right now. That's townhomes. So
Perfect.
beautiful attached community. It's, you know, all the product is built with really nice, energy efficient products and really environmentally responsible. But above all, it's nice quality, decent quality, best bang for your buck that you can get in San Diego County right now is at Nickel Creek Townhomes.
Cool. So let's talk about that a little more, because I think sometimes us in San Diego, we get stuck in our own little bubble here, and you know, like, what's Ramona all about? What's the draw to living there?
It's a slower paced community for sure. You're about 15 minutes out of Poway, so wherever you're going to, you're adding about 15 minutes. But I tell you what, it's better than 15 minutes sitting in stopped freeway traffic on the 5. So
You're actually moving?
You're actually moving,
What?
and you're looking at a beautiful mountain view all around you. So it's really quite nice.
It's a very cool place.
It is. The hiking up there, the wineries.
28 wineries in Escondido, Ramona.
Yeah.
Can't
Up and
go
coming.
wrong.
Yeah.
Sounds like you've been there.
He's like, I've been to a
Almost
different
every
one.
weekend.
Every weekend?
Yeah, we love that
So you're
place.
taking the Harley, going up to Ramona, hitting
Yeah.
the wineries. Excellent. So yeah, it really is neat. So when I came on the show a year ago, we had just started Nickel Creek.
I remember that.
45 homes to sell. I have 3 left.
So they're up, they're
They-
ready to be sold. People are living in them now.
People are living in them. I only have 3 homes left in the entire community. I have 1 home and 2 out in production.
Wow.
And it's honestly the best place that you can get. $350,000 gets you into
Oh, that's cool.
a nicely upgraded first-time home buyer kind of 2-bedroom home.
What I was going to say, are they 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom?
2 and
What
3
are they like?
bedrooms. We've got gorgeous 3-bedroom homes, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath in that 430 to 442 range.
Where are you going to find
Fully
that here?
upgraded, you know, just, it's awesome. It really is. I've said it all along. I study the market. I study the comps. I know what's out there. 430 and 442,000 for 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and that backs to a creek bed. So you're talking about a
Beautiful.
nice view, protected land, not going to change.
So you have to be
Super
excited.
sweet.
You're like, wow, like I've sold most of them. We got 3 left, but at the same time, like if you want it, you better hop on it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Cool. So if somebody is interested, before we keep going, what's the best way to get in touch with you to find out more information?
Definitely go to the website,
Okay.
ncramona.com. Easy, ncramona.com.
ncramona.com. That stands for Nickel Creek in Ramona. Perfect. Who would you say the homes are ideal for? Who are you seeing move in there?
What's so interesting is we have a great mix of people in there. I have people who have downsized. Their kids are grown and gone. They want to get into a townhome where they have less maintenance, something that's brand new. So I've got people downsizing. I have first-time buyers, people stepping up, buying their very first condo. And I've got several families. So people that are, maybe it's their second purchase, they're starting their families there. So really quite a variety of folks there.
Well, and I just think what a great way to get into your first home. You know, maybe your commute is a little bit further to start with, but that's going to set you up to get that amazing dream home, maybe right in the middle of the city in the future too.
Absolutely, and I tell people all the time when they come in the door, Ramona's got the space to really, and, you know, from the market standpoint, for it to kind of have an explosion in values. Our roads are widening. Think about it. You're from San Diego. Remember, Santee was out in the middle of nowhere, and then they brought in the roads. You know, the freeways came through, and as the freeways came through, what happened? Santee exploded in its values, and I think Ramona's on the cusp of that happening as well. So I think it's a great value and a good time for people to get in.
Such a good point.
I hope not.
Not too much. We do want to
That's a
keep that
selfish-
small. We
that's a
want to
selfish
keep that
'cause it's
small
so
town.
cool.
Yeah. We do want to keep that charm.
He doesn't want more traffic on the way to his winery, you know? Like,
All these cars up here. I'm trying to get to the wineries. But yeah, I do think it's a really smart move. I do.
and that makes me think my parents live in Menifee.
Okay.
And it's the same sort of thing. Like, I was like, where are you moving to? Like, what is that? But they have everything at their fingertips within 10 minutes of them. I mean, every shopping store you could possibly imagine is popping up there. New condos, new townhomes. I mean, it's really up and coming, and I think they got in there at the perfect time.
Right. Well, that's what I think is happening here. We've got Nickel Creek that's going to be winding down. I have just the 3 homes left. Coming on next is in January, single-family detached homes sitting on half-acre view lots in Ramona, right there close to town, 17 homes, and single-story and two-story homes. So that's going to open up in January, probably late January.
Okay.
Going to be gorgeous.
Soon.
I don't have a whole lot of information on them. On those, you can get to the website by going through ncramona.com, but you can also go WRE, Willow Ridge Estates. So WREramona.com will get you there. So if any of the listeners want to hop on there. But that information is trickling in. It's going to start coming out. I suspect I'll get pricing probably in November.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, totally.
And so those will come on board in January, and then late next year, we're going to have 54 detached condo homes coming. So it's going to be a really interesting project. So if you think about it, it's condo ownership.
That's why I'm like, how does that work?
Detached, zero lot lines. So they're going to have yards, and they're going to back to the creek bed, and it's going to be a gorgeous community. So we'll have tennis courts, I think, are going to be out there.
Awesome.
It's going to have a nice walking trails and swimming pool.
So you get some amenities with those too.
Yeah. So more details on that later. For sure, I'll definitely come back on the show and tell you about
Yeah,
those.
you
when
will.
Very cool.
Well, when we get
Totally.
more info, but that's going to be sweet. But think about all the growth that's happening. That's 54 single-family detached homes coming, 17 detached condos, and then the 17 detached homes. Those are on view lots. You can't. It's
Can't
just
beat it.
Amazing.
So is it safe to say that Kire always has a little something in the works? There's some project being constructed?
Yep, that's part of the growth of the company as well, because we've got people that are working specifically in acquisitions now. So they're out there trying to acquire the land, and once we get that acquired, run it through the process.
It's like music to my ears because I'm like, I need to get in my first home, you know? I need to do it instead of renting, but...
Well, what are you doing when we
tough.
get done with the show?
Well, girl, let's talk. Let's talk.
Let's go.
So let's talk about how is Kire different from other builders? I think that's really important to explain.
Oh, I think it is important to point that out. So, like I said before, we're smaller. We're a smaller builder. We're not like the great big, D.R. Hortons and the Shea Homes and those kinds of places. We're smaller, we're boutique, we have a lot more control. We need to change something up, we can. We need to add customizations, we can do that. So we do custom homes, semi-custom homes, we do production building. But we have the ability when the public speaks up and says, we want this, or the trend is going this way, we can do that. We can accommodate that. We're not such a big ship that we can't make the turn. So
Really customer oriented.
very customer oriented, and I think that really makes all the difference in the world.
100%.
And we want to stay that way. We want to keep our core values at the company like that.
Well, how cool is it too to think that, oh, hey, I'm going to buy this new townhome, but maybe I want the upgraded finishes, before you put those in, could we talk about that? That's amazing.
Yes, yeah, and across the board, all of our homeowners did upgrades. So all the people that bought at Nickel Creek came in there and they picked out their own flooring and their own countertops and all that kind of stuff.
Not having to renovate
really
and make it their own after they move in.
Right.
That's a beautiful thing. So I definitely want to talk about the incentive that we want to mention if somebody is listening today. So do you want to give us that spiel? I've got it written here too. So.
Absolutely, no, I'll give it to you.
Okay.
So if they come in and they want to use our designated lender, there is $2,500 cash right off the top that they're going to, money. They're getting that cash, they can use it any way they want. You want to go to the design center, you want to apply it to a solar system, you want to use it for closing costs, whatever you want to do. So,
and it's a credit, right? So it comes to you.
They get
after.
it directly. It's cash credit right at the end, and they can apply it however they want.
How awesome is that? So if you're listening,
Yes.
mention Real Talk, mention that you saw Janine on the show, and they'll give you the hookup. How perfect is that? So don't miss out. And you can find out more information at kirebuildersinc.com. Janine, do you want to give out any other information?
No, just please go to the website, register. It's the best way to get in touch. As soon as you do that, I'll get notified and I'll reach out to whoever wants some information.
Awesome.
So ncramona.com will get you to Nickel Creek, and WREramona.com get you to Willow Ridge.
And not only does Janine know her stuff, but a little birdie told me that a lot of the employees actually live in these communities themselves too, right?
My business partner currently lives there. He bought in phase 3, and I myself am purchasing in phase 5.
Awesome. So we won't tell you which community, so you can't stalk Janine down, you weirdos. But yeah, I think that says a lot because, you know, you're not just pushing the product, but you're truly, you know, walking the walk and talking the talk, right?
Absolutely. I believe in it that much. I believe in it enough that I'm putting my money where my mouth is.
I love that. Thanks, Janean. Really appreciate it. So we are going to totally switch gears here. You know, you got your new house and you're thinking, I need to pick up some extracurriculars. What am I going to do with my time? Well, Louis is here because he's going to get you dancing, and he is with North County DanceArts. You really pride yourself, Louis, on being one of the only dance studios around that has a full adult program. So what does that mean?
Well, in the mornings, and the adult program is in the mornings.
Okay.
We have everything from beginning levels to intermediate levels, and we have a lot of teachers that come as well, just because it's low pressure. They don't have to prove themselves. It's just to have fun. We have jazz, tap, ballet, hip hop, lyrical. We have Bollywood. We have jazzercise.
Wow.
Jazzercise first thing every 7 days a week with jazzercise, and the studios open 7 days a week also.
Oh, well, so we can dance our hearts out whenever we want, right?
Every single day.
So you've got all the classes basically that you could possibly imagine, but you also offer competition courses as well.
Yes, we're not really considered a competition studio because we actually teach the kids how to dance instead of just teaching them dances to where they work on them all year and compete them. We want to teach the kids how to dance. So we do competition, but it's not part of our curriculum. It's a total separate day. It's a separate time within the schedule that they learn the routine so that on the other parts of the days and their schedules, they learn all their technique, ballet, tap, jazz, and everything in their regular classes.
Awesome. So what does it look like for someone who wants to sign up for some classes? Do they have to commit to a certain amount of days per week? Like what does that look like?
Well, on our adult program, we have a drop-in program on the adults.
Okay.
And they can either drop in at $20 a drop-in, or they can sign up for a $70 card, which is a savings of $10. Or they can do $150 a month, and they can take all the classes they want.
Oh, okay.
With our children's program and our teen program, that's an annual contract.
Okay.
So they sign up for the year.
And that stood out to me when we were speaking on the phone last week, because when I was signing up for sports as a kid, or I did gymnastics, I did dance, my parents always said, you're going to do it for the entire year. If you don't like it, that's fine. We won't sign up again, but you're going to commit to it for the year and give it your all and make sure that you have a good decision to make after the end of it, right?
Well, a lot of times the parents will have the kids just do something that they want them to do. And what you want to do is you want to have the kids do something that they want to do, because then they'll have fun.
Sure.
Instead of, well, you're going to take ballet. No, Mom, I want to do hip hop, or I want to do tap. No, I want you to take ballet, and then you'll take something else. Well, if they don't want to do ballet, they're not going to have a great time. They want to do hip hop, they'll have a good time, and then after they find out that the ballet's the foundation for everything, then they'll enroll in ballet, and they'll start enrolling in more classes.
So one thing you mentioned to me earlier as well is that if people really want to take this to the next level, they can't just sing or just dance. They need to be able to do both, right?
Yes. In fact, I was talking to one of my good friends. She's another very popular radio host. Her name is Pat Launer, and she is a critic, a really well-known musical critic. And we were just talking about it the other day, that it's a shame that a lot of these kids just sing. Or a lot of them just sing and they don't really dance, so they can't really put on a full production. Or the production they put on it's not really as strong as it could be if you had real dancers. And when I was with the Debbie Reynolds show, we did Annie Get Your Gun, and we had a cast of 80. But then they found out that the dancers could all sing. And so they let go all the singers. And they saved themselves like $120,000 a week just by getting rid of the singers and using the dancers that could really sing. And that's what they're doing now. You have to be a triple threat.
Yeah.
You have to sing, you have to act, and you have to dance. And you have to have tap in your repertoire.
And that's what you do personally, right?
I do.
Tell us why tap is like special to you. Why do you think that's required?
Well, tap is, it's coming out a lot more in a lot of the musicals. And a lot of the musicals that don't have tap numbers in them, they're putting the numbers in them because people want to see it. And if it takes you can't, if you're a really good dancer, you can kind of fake it.
Okay.
But if the music's off and people know what they're looking for, you can't fake it. You just can't. And so if you can't dance, you don't get the roles. And these kids want the roles. I'm getting a lot of phone calls from kids that they're doing 42nd Street, or they're doing Billy Elliot, or they're doing another musical with tap, and they want me to teach them how to tap so that they can audition for the role. And they say, well, when is the audition? They go, in 2 weeks. I go, there's no possible way. Although I did teach the original Billy Elliot.
Did you really?
And his name was Kire Coolidge. And they called me from L.A., and he had an agent in L.A., and they asked me if I would teach him so that he could get the part, because he didn't know how to tap. He was an accomplished ballet dancer. He was an accomplished pianist. He was an accomplished ballroom dancer as well, but he couldn't tap.
Interesting.
So I said, how long do I have? And they said, you have 6 weeks. And I said, there's no way.
That's like Dancing with the Stars, like 24/7, just dance, dance, dance.
But what he did is I said, there's no way I can't do it in 6 weeks, not and do what he wants to do, be able to do. And they said, well, what does he have to do in order to do it? We'll do whatever it takes. So he took privates 3 times a week, and he was in his classes as well, the tap classes, all the tap classes. And this kid pulled it off, and he got a Tony for it.
Incredible.
So it was great.
You have such an interesting background. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about your experience working with Debbie Reynolds and, you know, your career?
Well, I sang my first solo at 6 years old, and I sang it in church, and from that point on, I started, you know, just singing around. I don't know if you're too young, but there used to be a store called Walker Scott's, and I used to sing at the Mother's Day things there and everything. And then there was a role that had come up, and it was Oliver Twist, and it was down at the Civic Theater, Starlight. And so I'm in my backyard, and I was singing, and this lady yells over the fence. She goes, who's singing over there? I said, me. And she goes, who's me? I said, Louis McKay. And she said, climb up on this fence so I can see you. So I climbed up our avocado tree in our backyard, and I was 11 years old. And I sat up on the fence, and she goes, can you come down here? And I looked at my house and looked over at her.
Do I do it?
And so I jumped over the fence, and she says, come in here. I want to have you do something for me. And I walked in, and in her studio, it had just pictures of people all over the place. And she had a grand piano, and she says, can you sing this for me? So she had me sing some scales, and I sang the scales. And she said, would you be interested in auditioning for a musical coming up, Oliver Twist? And I said, I guess so. So she said, can I talk to your mom and dad? I said, sure. When did you want to do it? She goes, I'll walk over to your house right now. So she walked over. I auditioned for the role, and I got it. But after that, I found out that she was the concert violinist, and her husband was the director of the orchestra of Starlight.
Get out. And lived next door to you.
And lived right next door to me.
It was destiny.
And
100%.
It was destiny.
100%.
That doesn't just happen by accident.
100%.
so my dad told me, and then I was with a group called The Bright Side, and that was like the Young Americans Up with People. And I was with them for 9 years. And then my dad said, look, if you're going to make it, you got to go to L.A. So he borrowed $600. We went up to L.A. I got a studio apartment, and it was $150 a month. And he says, okay, you got 3 months for rent, and you got 3 months for food. After that, you're on your own. So I ended up going to this a tap class, and it was a private lesson. And the guy told me, his name was Pat Rico, and he said, are you going to audition for the Debbie Reynolds show? And I said, no, I didn't know there was. And he goes, well, you can do the tap. He says, I don't know what else you can do, but you can do the tap. So I said, well, where do I go? He says, you go down 3 blocks and you go over 8. And he said, this is the address, and he wrote it down. So I hitchhiked because I wanted to save gas. So I took off running, and I ran down 3 blocks, and I ran over 8. It was a gas station. And I asked the guy, I said, where in the heck is this address? He goes, you ran 8 blocks the wrong way.
Oh, no.
So I took off and I started running
16
again.
back.
And when I got there, out comes her rehearsal pianist and her secretary. And she says, are you going to audition? And I said, yeah. And she goes, well, it's over. And she said, do you sing? And I said, yeah, I sing. And so she said, okay, let's go upstairs and let's see if she'll take you. So we went upstairs and it was just her and the choreographer. And she says, no, we saw over 80 guys today. She goes, tell him thank you very much for coming in. She said, well, he sings. Okay, let him in. So
And
I had
that's
a
where it
private
comes from.
audition with her, and she says, I'll call you in 2 weeks. I said, yeah, right. They all
Right,
say
sure.
that. And so she did. So she called, and I was with her, and it was the greatest thing.
Unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable.
My whole life has been like that.
And so now you're giving back.
My wife married me, and she saw me on TV, on Johnny Carson and on Mike Douglas, and she lived in Texas. She told her mom, she goes, I'm going to marry him someday.
No way.
And she says, yeah, you don't even live in San Diego. And
So how'd you and your wife end up meeting?
6 months later, she moved to San Diego. And
She tracked you down.
and
She wasn't kidding.
no, she came in for a class and she didn't know it was me.
Really?
And then when she realized it was me, she went, oh my gosh, it's him.
Destiny all over again.
Man,
Like,
you
that is-
talk about bringing him home to meet Mom. I told you.
I know.
I told you I was going to marry
That was
him.
it.
I went to San Diego, hunted him down, and
Oh
brought him
my
home.
gosh, amazing story. So not only are you giving back to the youth and you're providing these classes for adults to enjoy the benefits of dance as well, but you actually started the Bells of Freedom program, and I think that is the most beautiful thing I've heard in a while, so please tell us what that's all about.
Bells of Freedom started in 2001. We actually did somewhat of our own, my wife and our family. One year we asked our kids, what do you want for Christmas? And they said, nothing, we already have everything. And I said, good answer.
Yep.
And so we said, okay, each one of you get to pick out one thing this year. Everything else goes to families. And so we did that, and we did that for 4 years, and then 9/11 hit. And when 9/11 hit, we decided to take care of the military. And so at that time, we started out with 6 families, where we adopted the families. And now, to this date, we've been doing it for, this will be our 17th year.
Wow.
And last year, we did 120 families.
Amazing.
And it's very cool because what happens is we bring the community together to where they can show their appreciation for our military and the men and women who make the sacrifice of protecting us all the time. And it's a beautiful thing. We feed over 800 people. UPS donates 2 semis. And Jamba Juice donates 300 Jamba Juices. Coffee Bean Leaf and Tea give all the coffee and the hot chocolate and everything for the ride up. And then we all gather at the Samurai Restaurant right here in Solana Beach. And we fill up the semis with all the gifts. And my buddies on the Harleys, we lead it up, 2 semis. And we have about 80 or 90 cars that go all the way up to Camp Pendleton.
So cool.
And you get a chance to meet the family that you adopted.
How rare is it that you actually get to meet the people you're impacting?
Yeah, and it is a big impact.
How
When
do you
see the
determine
faces.
who you'll help?
Because we're a nonprofit, we can't ask for certain families. They're given to us by the COs, by the commanding officers, sergeant majors, the chaplains.
So it's the people
family
working
readiness
with them all the
officers.
time that's
Yes.
making the recommendation.
Yes,
now.
and so they give it to us, and it's not a charity type thing. This is just an opportunity for the community to show our appreciation, and that's why we call it the big thank you. That's why we call it the big thank you.
The community serving the community.
And it is. It is.
Nice.
It's all about community.
Is there a website for the Bells of Freedom that we can learn more?
Bellesoffreedom.org.
Bellesoffreedom.org. Easy enough.
Bellesoffreedom.org.
And then if people are interested in signing up for a class, they can do so at northcountydancearts.com, or should they give you a
Yep.
call?
NorthCountyDanceArts.com. This year we were nominated for Best Dance Studio, and we won Best Dance Studio in Carmel Valley Readers, and we were nominated for the Best Theater Production by the Bravo Awards
Wow.
for 4 years in a row. So The studio's an amazing studio. It's a very family-oriented studio, and it's a place where the kids can be safe, where they can come and get out of school and get away from all the hustle and bustle and just concentrate on dancing and having a great time.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for that information. Once again, that's Louis McKay. He's the founder of North County Dance Arts, and you can find more information at northcountydancearts.com. Janine, I'm going to come back to you, my dear. We've talked about a lot today, right? So what is the takeaway that you want people to remember about Kire Builders?
I want them to take away from this and any experience they have with Kire that we're here to serve the needs of San Diego, housing needs of San Diego, whether it be in the rental side or in new home sales.
Perfect. And we can find that information on kirebuildersinc.com. And then what was the Nickel Creek website again?
ncramona.com.
ncramona.com. Thanks again,
Yeah.
Janine. And Louis, what's the takeaway for you today? What do you want people to remember?
Anybody can dance.
Even
Anybody.
me?
Even you.
Oh,
All you have
Janine
to
and I
do
just
is
get us some drinks and we'll start.
the margaritas.
well, if everybody else is drinking, I dance better.
Yeah.
That's how that goes.
You're like sober as a bird. Everyone else just has no clue what's happening around them.
They just don't realize how awful it is.
But it is the truth. It is the truth. Anybody can dance, and we have something for everybody at the studio. 3 years old, all the way up to 87.
That's awesome.
To 87.
Something for everyone.
It is.
And the
that's
same's
what we're
true
about.
for you guys. There's
Yes,
something for everyone.
there is something for everyone.
Well, thank you both so much for being here today. I really
And thank
appreciate
you.
your
Yes,
time.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Keep sharing the love.
I will. We're going to keep spreading the love. Don't forget to subscribe to our notifications so you can be notified each and every time we go live. Bringing you the business of life in America's finest city. This was Real Talk Carmel Valley. I'm Clare McKee. Go love everyone, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.